Hi guys, this is Dan. Welcome back to my channel. How time flies, and you know it is the time of the month. I'm going to talk about all the fantasy books that I am going to read in June. First of all, let's chat about my plan for June outside of reading. The biggest thing I would say is by the end of June and the early July, I am going to be away for my birthday holiday. So it's gonna be meaningful to me. On one hand, I'm really excited for this holiday because it is a big celebration, but on the other hand, I am just slightly worried about my reading progress, although I know that I just need to enjoy my holiday. I'm just not too sure how much can I read in between this time. So other than those that I have already planned to read in this year, I will try to sort out some books that are on the shorter side in June and July so that I can make sure I can finish them in time. Of course, if I have time to read more, I will of course do so because I love reading. But it is just like I don't want to disappoint you guys like in the wrap-up video and saying like, sorry guys, I can't finish all the books in time. I don't like it. If I make any changes, no matter it is like adding more books to the TBR or like read less, I will definitely let you know on my Instagram or later in the wrap-up. Also because of this, I am not too sure how frequent I can upload videos on here. Currently, I'm trying my best to upload 2 videos a week. And if you notice that I am not too active by the end of June or like in early July, you will know why, because I'm away. I don't have time for filming. Here, I'm actually quite relaxed about the plan, although I've just talked about the details of it. I just don't want to be like defeated by the algorithm. But you know what? I'm just going to enjoy my holiday. I think this is pretty much I have planned for June and early July. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel Dynasty so you won't miss any fun bookish content from me. This channel hasn't been monetized yet, so if you want to support me, support the running of this channel, or support me to buy more books to create content, feel free to visit my Patreon and Ko-fi, and you can also follow my Instagram for more daily updates. All the links you need will be in the description below. Without further ado, shall we chat about my June's TBR? I think maybe we can begin with the books that I have talked about before. The only book that has been featured in my previous TBR is the book that held her heart by Mark Lawrence, the third book of the Library Trilogy. It was taken out of my April's TBR because I underestimate how long of Empires and Dust by Ryan Cahill gonna be like. It was my most anticipated release of the year. To give time and give room to that masterpiece, I have to make a difficult choice, which is to postpone this book. So coming to June, I can finally read this one because there is honestly not too much new fantasy books coming out around summer. This series is like the title, about a massive library where centuries of knowledge is stored. In here, we're going to follow 2 protagonists, Nefira and Eva. Their destiny intertwined because of the time-traveling element in this series. In the last book, Nefira gonna travel back to the past, meeting her friends and adversaries. As for Eva, he might meet someone that wanna destroy the library. I did a bit of research and I think there's a new Jewish character introduced to this last book, and it sort of mirrored what had happened in the World War II. I don't think the synopsis bring out this element, so I honestly don't know what to expect from it. And I guess the only way to find out is to read this book soon. The next book on my June's TBR is also the one that I want to work on and stick with the schedule, which is to read the Broken Binding Fantasy subscription as soon as I got them. This time I'm going to read Silverthorn by Raymond E. Feist, the second book of the Riftwar Saga. If you remember, last trilogy the Broken Binding has picked up is the Rook and Rose series up here, which I epically failed. I haven't read anything from it yet, and I have to postpone this series to next year. So for the Riftwar Saga, I really want to keep up with it. By the time of filming this June's TBR, actually it is like nearly the end of May, so I still haven't checked out the first book of this series, which is Magician, so I honestly don't know what to expect from this trilogy. If I am right here, I think it is another classic high epic fantasy that is written some time ago, and I think it is around the 80s. It is about Puck's world was invaded because a rift, a portal, was opened. This grows into an epic war across the world, involving gods, magics, politics, and ancient magic that none thought to be extinct. It is a coming-of-age fantasy that we will witness the growth of Puck as a magician. Then coming to the second book, it is set a year after the first one, and it is more about healing a poisoned princess. So I believe a new group of characters need to travel to the north and find this antidote called Silverthorn. Like I said, I haven't finished the first book yet, so I honestly don't want to read too much of the synopsis of the second book to keep me like, don't spoil me, let me find out what's gonna happen. This series sounds quite interesting with like this kind of portal magic and the growth of protagonist. My only worry is whether this one is gonna be like other epic fantasy series that is written around the same period of time, where you can usually expect a slower pacing and slightly more detailed world building. Looking on Goodreads, the series got overall quite a nice rating, and I always have faith in the Broken Binding's choice. So I am not too worried here, but I hope I didn't jinx myself here. Another book I have to read as it is part of my reading plan of this year, it is The Fall of Neverdark by Philip C. Quaintrell, the fourth book of the Echoes Saga. In May, I have finished the first trilogy of this series, and now we can move on to the second one. And I think the second arc was set 30 years after the first series. From the synopsis, I can see two very familiar names. The first one obviously is Gideon. With the new role he is playing, he sensed that the third age is coming to an ominous end. So with a new partner called Inara Godfrey, together they will investigate the return of this ancient evil. We will also follow Inara's brother called Elijah. His life would turn upside down, from a gambler and a relic hunter to become an important figure in this fight against the darkness. The other character from the first trilogy is the one that I love, and it is Doran the Dwarves. Finally, we got some more politics from them. The dwarves uncover some ancient relic, and Doran has to return his homeland to make peace. I have finished a third of the series, so I honestly can't wait to get back to this world and see some old faces and meet the new ones. I am also curious to see how the setup in the first trilogy gonna play out now. Hopefully I'll see other familiar faces in this world. It is only 30 years after the first trilogy. Nothing too long for the elves, right? After 3 slightly thicker fantasy books, I need something that is shorter, something that is easier to read. So the last book on my June's TBR, I have chosen Never Die by Robert J. Hayes. This is an East Asian-inspired fantasy with some sort of martial art elements called Wuxia, and I think it is also a standalone novel in this Mortal Technique universe created by this author, obviously. This is about Ian, who was resurrected by the death god and was given this task to assassinate the emperor. To achieve this, he has to recruit some legendary warriors to his cause. But here comes a twist. They all have to die first. Each brings unique skills and complex personalities to the group, leading to some dynamic interactions and conflicts as they journey together. I think what we can expect from this book is plenty of lively, fast-paced actions, as well as exploration of themes like honor, redemption, and the nature of heroism. I look forward to read this one, and I mean this is not too thick, not too long, and it has been under my radar for quite some time now, so I guess let's finish it in June together. So these are the 4, not 4, so let's put the last 2 here. 4 books I am going to read in June. Although I said that I don't want to have too many chunky fantasy books in this month, we still got some bits like Silverthorn and the Fall of Neverdark, but I believe everything is under control, right? So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel Dynasty so you won't miss anything from me. I'll see you all real soon. Goodbye.